Christy and welcome back to 52 Weeks of Beauty. Today's video is going to be a little bit more about tape-in hair extensions. It's going to be blow drying your hair with tape-in hair extensions in, cut and layering your hair with extensions in, flat ironing, styling, curling, and so on. I know I promised you guys a removal process video for tape-in hair extensions. In my last 2 weeks of videos, I promised that it would be this week, and I just need one more week. I have another idea that I wanted to make sure I tried out, because I have tried out so many things, and I want to make sure that I try everything so I feel good about putting out the video. So I'm giving you guys the absolute best removal process information that I know about. So I promise next week for sure. So anyway, in this video, I am going to show you, I layered my hair. Before, when I put it in, I just put the 3 wefts in. It was pretty much all one length. And I just feel like this is a little bit more natural because I actually have short layers right here of my own hair, and I wanted to kind of create a more flowing look. So you definitely can get your hair cut, you know, at salons too, things like that. But I am just really picky and afraid sometimes. So I like to do it on my own hair. And I just feel like it's a little bit, you know, hair extensions are pricey as it is, and if you go somewhere and they don't do it right, you're just like, oh my gosh, now I have to start all over. So I feel like this is better. I feel like I'm like more in control, I guess. So I want to show you how I cut and layer my extensions, and I also, you know, just a little bit more about, you know, blow drying your hair with them in and things like that, how they look when they're wet, how does it look when the wind hits it, you know, all of those questions that I know I had in the beginning. So I hope I can answer some of those for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is how my hair looks right when I get out of the shower. So if you're wondering how your hair will look wet with tape-in extensions, here you go. And so this is what it would look like at the beach or the pool or anything like that. After you go underwater, come out. I think it's very undetectable, and I love that part. I'm using Bumble and Bumble, my heat protectant, and then I'm going to use Carol's Daughter Black Vanilla. It's a leave-in protein treatment that I really like. And then I'm going to go ahead and comb through or brush through my extensions. I always hold the end of my hair halfway through while I'm combing the bottom so I don't tug on the tape too much. You want to try to do that as little as you can. I am also combing over the extensions, you'll see. I try not to go super hard with the brush right over the tape, but I do let the brush go over it too. And now I'm going to blow dry my hair. As I mentioned before, I actually do blow dry my hair upside down. You'll see in a second. When I blow dry my hair upside down, you can see the tape wefts, and blow drying doesn't actually damage wefts at all or anything. It's just kind of, you know, the flow of your natural hair, upside down, straight up. Doesn't really matter how you blow dry your hair. And I think it's fine, even if the blow dry heat gets a little bit on the tape weft. Obviously you don't want to hold it right on there, but I think it's totally fine if it touches it just like it would your normal hair. Okay, so now I'm just blow drying my hair back up straight again. And on my last video on the tape-in hair extensions, a user by the name of Cami3 had left a comment asking if the wind would affect the tape and like show through and all of that if you were outside on a windy day. So here you can kind of get an idea about that. I don't seem to see it at all, so I really do believe the tape is kind of hidden very well. Cami3 had said she was using the micro bead extensions, and on a windy day it would be really embarrassing because they would show through. So I think the reason the tape doesn't actually show through is because your own hair is actually, you know, taped onto the tape weft. So it's just really, I don't know, just it hides it just naturally that way, just by this, you know, application or this way of doing extensions. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to flat iron my hair. I'm just going to brush through my hair after I blow dry it. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray more prep solution because heat is going to be on there again. And nothing fancy here, just straightening my hair. And you're not going to get like too close to the tape weft. Don't worry about that. It's almost like impossible to do. So just kind of straightening my hair all the way around. I use a brush to kind of straighten it out and pull with the straightener at the same time. Then I grab my Rock Your Hair hairspray by Michael O'Rourke. I kind of put it, you know, just above where the tape is, and then I just kind of check everything out and sometimes use a brush just to kind of make it blend just a little bit halfway down. And this is just kind of my straight style when I just have it all one length. You could also put your hair up in a clip. I'll show you real quick what I mean if you were to go like that. So you could do a lot with it. Okay, so now we're going to start the process of cutting and layering my tape-in hair extensions. I put plastic bags on the floor just to catch any hair. And right now I'm just separating the very top part of my head and the bottom, because I am going to start with the very top section. So this is the first weft of hair, the tape-in, along with my own hair at the very top. Now I know how long my hair is. It's not very long, so be careful if you do have longer hair. You might want to be like, I don't know how short you want your first layer to be, but I'm going to do 2 layers and then just keep the bottom for length and not cut that. So now I'm going to go ahead and make sure I grab some paper towels and lay it all over the sink area. You know, I put the plastic bags on the floor just to, you know, catch any hair too, but in the end I'll go ahead and gather all that up and throw all the hair out. I am starting my first layer probably a good 2 inches below my actual hair. So I'm going to cut it straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to go ahead and make it somewhat even. And then the reason it doesn't have to be perfect is because you know how hair normally is really thin on the end. So that's kind of the look we're going for. So we're just going to go ahead and just cut up vertically. And again, it doesn't have to be precise. Just keep going, probably an inch or 2 in length, but you're just kind of cutting up in between as much as I can to make it more natural. Then I grab a few of the strands in front and kind of go up just a little bit and take up a little bit more, because the framing around my face needs to be a little bit thinner, because I feel like that will just look a little bit more natural. Also, you want to make sure that you're really careful when you choose your first layer, because there's no going back. Once you cut across, that's it. So start a little bit longer than you feel comfortable with. You can always take up just a little bit more. Also, I am using my favorite scissors from Sally Beauty Supply. You want to make sure you get a really nice pair of scissors too, so you get a really nice cut when you're trying to layer. Okay, so now I'm done with my first layer for now, and I'm going to go ahead and take out that little bun that I created. I'm going to secure the top area that I just finished, and I'm going to find my second weft. And I'm going to go ahead and separate that, secure the bottom back into a little bun. And then I'm going to separate the hair again that I'm going to cut. So now this is the middle layer of hair, and I'm going to do the same thing. So now I'm going about 2 inches below where I did the last one, maybe 1.5 inches-ish, somewhere in there. And then I'm going to, go up with the scissors again, just kind of making it really light and doing that to both sides. Okay, so now that I did my 2 layers, because remember I'm only doing 2, I'm keeping the bottom, I think 2 wefts actually, and for length and thickness, I kind of like it like that. Just really wanted some top layers to blend with my own natural hair. Okay, so now you can see that my layers are very noticeable. So they're very, even though I did trim them up, they're still very kind of like straight across. So I'm just gonna keep going back through them over and over again until I get the look that I want. Just gonna cut up and just keep, grabbing different pieces and going all the way around until I get the really nice, flowy, natural, layered look that I'm trying to achieve here. I also think that it's helpful that they're straight across when you bring all your hair back down, so you can kind of see the layers that you're working with a little easier. It also definitely helps, having wefted rows of extensions, because it's separating everything for you as well, so you can easily find the track or the layer that you're working with to keep working on it. And you want to make sure you grab like the very back parts of your, row as well too, so you're getting everything all the way around. I also like to check my hair in the mirror, just kind of see what I'm working with, and if there's any weird pieces that I'm like, uh-oh, then I can do those too. And then brushing your hair through really helps as well, and kind of just going back through and just trying to achieve the look that you're going for with just, cutting a little bit more, trimming here and there. You definitely can cut your extensions or layer them while they're out of your head before you actually apply the tape to them and everything like that, or apply them into your hair after the tape is already applied. That would work as well. I just like doing it this way while it's in my own, hair, head, whatever, just because I feel like it's, more natural, and it just kind of, I can see exactly how it's going to lay with the rest of my hair. Okay, so now I'm happy with the results. Of course, you could keep going more and more and more if you wanted it to be even more blended, but I feel good with this, and I'm just gonna clean up my mess with my paper towels and throw all the hair away, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start curling and styling my hair with kind of like beachy waves. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Bumble and Bumble Prep Solution again, take the curling wand, point it down, and just wrap my hair around it and just keep going around. I don't hold it on there very long, especially after watching that YouTube video. Did you see where the girl fried off her hair by just talking for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and then when she took her curling iron out, the actual hair had completely fallen off too. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'll ever forget about that video now. So obviously don't keep it on too long, just a few seconds, and just keep going all the way around. Okay, so here is the finished result of it just being kind of like loose waves, and yeah. So you can do anything, put it behind your ear, you can put it halfway up, ponytail. I'll show some pictures here in a little bit. But basically you can do any style with tape and hair extensions. They're really flat to your head and they're easy to work with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next week.